Adam,
Right.
I have a pretty loaded question here for you, buddy. So, and it's always on the top of everybody's mind. So I'm just going to go right into it. What is the difference between qualified and certified to you in relation to commissioning?
Oh, that is a big question. Okay, let's talk about certified versus qualified. So let's talk about qualified first. So qualified for me is a stack of education, experience, and knowledge or training, right? So it's the old saying, who can be senior? Well, apart from a bald head or gray hair, in my view, you've got to have 10 years experience, right? Because, you can't walk in and look 12 years old and say, I'm the senior engineer.
But 10 years of experience, like, I mean, that's pretty, so, here in the States, you can go get a 4-year degree and then basically 4 years and then you're an engineer,
Yeah.
But what does 10 years of experience really mean?
So 10 years means postgraduate experience, right? So let's take the States context. You've done your 4-year degree, you've done your 4-year training, which is really an apprenticeship by a different name. You go and take your licensing exam, you're a licensed PE, right? But you're only 4 or 5 years in at that point. You then need another 5 years of like working as an engineer with minimal supervision.
So wouldn't school count? Wouldn't your 4 years or if you have a master's? I mean, because that's what they say now.
One, you should never do a master's in engineering. That's a complete and utter waste of time. That'll be a subject for another question, right? If you need a bachelor's degree to get a license, what the hell are you doing a master's for? Anyway, that said, your 4-year engineering degree is a ticket to get into the disco. That is it. It's just your price of entry. You've actually done nothing useful in terms of an applied engineering career, right? You've learned the fundamentals. So when you've been out, you've done your 4-year sort of training under a PE, you're then working for another 6 years as a PE, you're 10 years in post-grad. In my view, that's the line for senior, right? So you're qualified at that point, right? Right. But what does certified mean? So what certified means is you take that stack of bachelor's, get my PE, do my work, and then you go and take an exam with some third-party body, let's say ACG, right, for example, right? And the difference between qualified and certified is this. A third party has put you through a testing process, and they agree that you know what you're doing. That's very simple, right? And that's how I view it. So this is not something you can do on a weekend course in a hotel and then come out with a 50-point quiz and then you're qualified. No.
So it's always one of those things since you just mentioned, ACG or CXA, yeah. I mean, I'm a CXA, right? And there's a lot of other areas you can get the BCA, their CCP and the AEE. Oh, acronyms. Sorry. I'm throwing out acronyms because everybody uses acronyms. For instance, the Associated Engineering, CBC, right? So Certified Building Commissioning Professional. Okay, so now you're looking in the BCA, Building Commission Association. You're looking at Certified Commissioning Professional. Then there's ASHRAEs, right? And so there's a lot of certifications because people hear this all the time and they keep on asking everybody, which one should I do? Once again, that's a loaded question because you're. And when I tell about commissioning, I say this to owners and anybody. I say all the time that we need to be agnostic, right? And everyone's like, what does that mean? I'm like, it means that you're not supposed to like push one brand over the other, right? You're always basically saying, when you say what is the best, well, that's once again another loaded question. What is the best? What defines what the best is? So there's a lot of them. I mean, and so I would recommend to anybody who's watching this, that maybe we can go over our next one of maybe the top 4 or the top 5, and once again, what is the top, right? And then how they differ from over from across the pond, right, to over here to basically maybe down, in South America, basically to North America, to Canada or whatever, or even over in Australia, they're different, but they're the same. So they're always, like I would say they're built on ASHRAE, but then again, over in other places, built on other ones. So once again, back to the question, right? You just gave a really great definition of certified, versus qualified. Sorry. There's a lot to this, but then at the same time is if you apply that and say, you said 10 years. So how would you justify, once again, with certified, people say, oh, a piece of paper says I'm certified. Yeah. But qualified would be years of experience.
So qualified. Let's dig down a little bit deeper, right? You're getting into the realm of what is competence here, right? So it's a bit like a surgeon. I am lying in bed and there's two surgeons in front of me. One's got 4 years experience and one looks as old as I do. Guess which one I want?
You want the experience. You want the
because there's an implied competence through time and experience, right? So competence is actually the thing everyone is looking for, but they don't say out loud. When they say, give me a qualified person or a certified person, what they actually mean is give me a competent person, someone who I can assign this job to and know it's going to get done without looking over my shoulder and worrying. Competence is the key requirement in life.